How's it going, guys? Welcome back. If you guys have not heard, we are going to see the beta released tomorrow. It was delayed a day, server issues or something along those lines. And what today I want to do is I want to go out there, I want to go over not only a list of things that can prepare you for the beta, maybe you never played the beta, maybe it's been a while, you forget what the beta was like, some things that's going to come across as quite different than the game is right now that you're going to want to adjust to. And I want to talk about the feedback that we need to provide for the beta. I think it is very, 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 very important we give them proper feedback this time around. And I just want to start with this. Understand it's January. I don't remember the last time EA cared about this game in January as much as they do this year. Is it inconvenient for some people playing in tournaments, esports, LG playoffs, whatever? Yeah, a little bit. But in any game where the quote-unquote meta changes, the elite players quickly adapt. It is unfortunate, but it's a sacrifice that has to be made at the end of the day if we want a better product, though. If EA can figure out how to fix some of the major gameplay issues right now, then they can go out there and they can work on other things for next year's game instead of, spinning the tires and waiting until next year to try and fix the gameplay and inevitably go down the exact same road they went down this year. So let's take this as a huge sign that we are seeing a step in the right direction of EA wanting to go out there and make this game great again. But now, ironically so, the ball is now in the gamer's court. It's our job to go out there and express areas of weakness and suggest ways to fix it, as well as provide them with areas of strength. Things that we like in the beta tuner, things that we think should stay based on the beta tuner is correct on. We have to express stuff like that. So here's a list of things I think we need to be prepared for and things we've got to think about when it comes to playing the beta for the next week. First and foremost, play an adequate amount of games before you judge it. There's going to be a feedback thread. It was going to be 24 hours after release. I don't know if it's still going to be like that or if it's going to come out Friday with the beta because it was scheduled for Friday. But there's going to be a feedback thread. But I cannot express enough. Please, 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 please play 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games before you give feedback. Don't play 1 or 2 games. Lose both games. Go to the feedback section. All frustrated because you couldn't win those games. Do your best to win a couple games, win 1 game, win 2 games, then go to the feedback section and think, well, what didn't I like about that game I won? Instead of looking for reasons why you lost the game, I think it's very, very key we go out there and look and say, I won this game, but I still didn't like this about it. Even though I played great, I played fantastic, I noticed there was a flaw here and a flaw there. That is when you know you're going to be giving good feedback instead of just looking for feedback of saying, this is why I lost the game, I blame EA, and, a lot of fun stuff. Secondly, be prepared to adjust. Honestly, 1 week of tuner change might not be enough for some players because the game really is that much different now compared to the beta. Be prepared to poke check less. The poke checking back in the day, you literally couldn't poke check anywhere. You could be in perfect position and you could still trip guys, and that is where I think they did do a nice job there with tuning that a little bit because it was pretty bad. You still do it sometimes where you're directly in front of a guy looking at him, you poking him, you trips and everything. That could still be worked on a little bit, but do be prepared. There is going to be a tripping massacre out there. Be prepared for that. Be prepared for hits to work again. Yes, hits should work again. Hits was great in the beta. There was a lot of hitting. So be prepared for, not being able to turn your back and the guy magically bouncing off you. Be prepared for stick lifts to be somewhat overpowered. They worked very effectively in the beta. Again, something people were not very happy about. EA went from a bunch of stick lifts to none at all. We'll talk about that very subject a little bit more here in a second. But finally, be prepared for overly aggressive AI that play like super gods. That was very heavily talked about. It was so bad. It was even worse in ESHL and everything. So when you play threes and stuff, you notice the AI just plays like crazy, crazy, crazy aggressively good where he just doesn't miss. But again, it's something they did work on. And like I said, this is where the feedback from us is very, very important because personally, I believe it's important that everyone goes into the beta understanding these things may not please a lot of people. And that's why the game is in a complete 180 from the beta at the moment. It's on us to look at these kind of things, not just hate tweet EA, but go out there and instead stop and try to provide a reasonable, open-minded solution that mixes the benefits of the current game right now and some of the benefits of the beta. And I seriously think, and this is just my opinion, you can think completely differently. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter. But I think this is our second chance to make the game great again as much as it is for EA. The first time around, a lot of the feedback was coming from angry players who didn't want to adjust to the new gameplay. So EA slowly listened and slowly checked off item after item after item off the list that people disliked about the game. And some of the issues I brought up above is now completely erased from the game, but it's created other issues. Part of that being the reason that the people that dislike the beta might have been louder than the people that like the beta. So if you love this beta, you love this tuner, express yourself. Express. Because if EA sees more people that does not like the beta than it does, obviously they're going to think they need to fix it. So it's just as important for us to go out there and take time out to say this is great about the game as it is for us to say I don't like this about the game. I feel like we're getting a second chance to provide feedback instead of saying this game is trash or that is trash. It's on us to say, hey, The poke check's a little ridiculous. I like where it is currently in NHL 19 pre-January beta. Or I don't know, that was just an example. Maybe the hitting. Say the hitting. You know, back in the day, hitting from behind on a breakaway, it happened a lot. You knock the guy off the puck from hitting from behind. Should that happen? Probably not. Should you be able to hit a guy from behind though? Absolutely. Now we can't even hit a guy from behind. Period. So maybe be like, hey, you know, the hitting, it's got a problem. We need to have a little bit of an adjustment here where you can hit a guy from behind, but there needs to be a big speed difference between the players. If I'm coming at this guy, you know, X amount faster than he's skating right now, obviously I should knock him off the puck compared to, you know, he's skating, I don't even know the speed of skaters. He's skating 20 miles an hour, I'm skating 21. I should probably not knock him off the puck kind of deal, right? It's just a thought. You know, something to throw out there, something to think about. But I do know one thing, and you could probably relate to this. If you could play a drop-in game or you play someone else or this and that, and someone tells you you're terrible at the game, you're terrible at defense, you're absolutely awful, you're trash, you should never play again. Is that going to help you get better at the game? Compared to maybe you play with somebody who says, hey, you're bad at defense. How about you try doing this? Position yourself here on this area of the ice, or position yourself here in this area of the ice. Which one's going to help more? The guy that's complaining and just hating on your defense, they hate on it, or the guy that's going to go out there and say, hey, you know what? I see you're having problems. Maybe you can do this to fix it. That is pretty much the same concept here. Other than that, enjoy the beta. Enjoy your guys' weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.